Welcome to Sterling Visionary Voices, the podcast dedicated to bringing you diverse, innovative leadership insights and actionable strategies for success. Join hosts Laura McNeil and Bob Medeiros as they explore the art and science of role model leadership through thought-provoking conversations with real professionals. Whether you're a seasoned leader or aspiring to excellence, Sterling Visionary Voices is your guide to navigating the complexities of your leadership journey.
Customer Relationship Management, CRM, focuses on the creation of an operational system for managing company interactions with current as well as potential customers. The goal is simple. CRM is focused on improving relationships to grow your business. CRM focuses on enhancing the ability for companies to stay connected to customers, streamline processes, and improve profitability. However, all of this could go very astray if a major customer group is overlooked and not included. With us today is Heather Jones, Senior Director of Customer Engagement at Tendo, where she leads implementation of Tendo Insights products and customer performance improvement. With over 25 years of experience in the healthcare and technology industries, she is a business professional who is passionate about continuous improvement and building partnerships that support organizational change management. Heather holds an MBA from Syracuse University and an MHA, which is a Master's in Health Administration, from the Medical University of South Carolina. She also holds 4 certifications: CPHQ, which is a Certified Professional in Healthcare Quality, a CSSVB, Certified Six Sigma Black Belt, a Project Management Professional PMP certification, and Heather is also an Advanced Sterling Examiner for the states of Florida and Georgia. I'd like to welcome you, Heather, to Visionary Voices. I know that one of your passions is to emphasize the importance of internal customers, since they sometimes and more often go unrecognized. Would you share how you came to this realization with us?
Hi, Laura. Thanks for having me today. Throughout my career, serving as a leader in project management offices, operational excellence departments, and even providing consulting services to healthcare organizations, what I often found were disgruntled, exasperated, frustrated employees of the organization who were assigned to work on the project or the initiative, who had experienced and expressed and shared inefficiencies in workflows, challenges with support for years, and had identified multiple times opportunities for improvement that, in their perspective, could have addressed the challenges earlier and may not have resulted in additional fees or cost or time related to a project or operational excellence initiative.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that and provide us with some construct in regard to what internal customer engagement is?
Absolutely. So an internal customer, in its basic form, is an employee or a stakeholder within a company who relies on other departments or individuals within that organization to receive services or support in order to complete their day-to-day job. And when we think of the term customer engagement, that refers to brand loyalty. External customers are those who purchase our products and services. They're fully engaged. There's an emotional commitment and attachment to our business and organization brand. Oftentimes, if you think about customer engagement, we think of Apple or Starbucks or Amazon. And customer loyalty ultimately impacts business longevity, successes, profits, return on investment. Internal customer engagement, on the other hand, refers to our employees and the commitment and emotional connection that they have internally to our organizational brand. When an employee is engaged, they are actively involved in an organization's goals and objectives. These employees demonstrate loyalty and a commitment to overall business processes and their impacts with increased morale, productivity, innovation, collaboration, and employee retention. Engaged employees have a continuous improvement mindset, and they seek improvement opportunities throughout their day-to-day. They suggest ideas that might improve processes and drive innovation. And they're also committed to knowledge sharing and working collaboratively with their peers. And this is designed as an effort to achieve departmental or organizational goals. Additionally, engaged employees have positive work experiences and are more fulfilled by their jobs. They go above and beyond to produce high quality work and achieve a higher overall performance and better outcomes. The challenge for business leaders and organizations is understanding that internal customer engagement is not static. There is a continual evolution and changes over time that could be a result of new releases or product service offerings to our customer base, new vendor partnerships, expanded market segments, or employee growth. And successful organizations that deploy systematic processes to continuously measure and evaluate external customer satisfaction and engagement really have a good handle and understanding of that external base and where their challenges lie and how to make improvements. Internal customer engagement should also be evaluated and measured continuously. And as an example, in that continuous monitoring, internally, leaders should establish a regular cadence for reaching out to their employees and connecting with them to get a better understanding of what's working well, where are their challenges, what's their general feedback, are there opportunities for your employees and stakeholders to have a voice in the overall day-to-day activities. Can they share that? Can they share their opinions? Leaders should establish a regular cadence to connect with their employees, reach out to them, obtain feedback, ask them questions. How are they doing? What's working? What isn't working? Do they have suggestions for improvements? Give them a voice so that they can share their opinions on what could be better.
I like that because every voice matters, right? I think we've all heard that tagline at some point in time. Can you give us a little bit more detail on the value of capturing negative internal customer feedback and how it's been helpful?
Yes. As we know from a business perspective and a leadership perspective, there's also sometimes the mindset of any feedback is good feedback. And that is true. Feedback, whether positive or negative, drives our organization forward. Without it, we never know if we're making progress, if we have to course correct, change direction, apply new service offerings. And business leaders who use customer feedback to measure efficiencies and satisfaction have a really good handle on how to receive information, how to capture data, tools and resources to use from an external customer perspective, surveys, links, QR codes, the list can go on and on. So throughout my career, what I've experienced when leaders apply methods to receive feedback from their employees, oftentimes what comes out of that is a focus on the positive, which can create a false sense of performance and success, and incremental issues and challenges and feedback that is received goes unnoticed. And what happens then is those incremental challenges and issues compound over time and result in a labor-intensive, time-intensive, very reactive approach to resolution. Negative feedback is important, and it fosters the exchange of ideas, and truly, in my opinion, should be seen as a stepping stone to achieve the next level of performance and excellence in an organization.
Do service level agreements play a part in all of this?
Absolutely. So I'll take a little step back here in what a service level agreement is. And I've seen and experienced how a service level agreement can really shape and prevent mistakes from repeating themselves and improve efficiencies in process. So a service level agreement, or an SLA, is defined as a commitment between service providers and their customers. And it's often and most commonly used in IT teams with external vendors and partners. However, SLAs can be successfully applied within an organization, across service teams, HR teams as an example, or operational teams where performance and reliability are critical to the success and performance of an organization. I do want to make a note here on what an SLA is not. So it should not be confused as a job description. Job descriptions outline the responsibilities and requirements associated with a specific position within a company. Meanwhile, a service level agreement defines the level of service that is provided and establishes clear expectations, the service quality, the deliverables, and levels of accountability. So when we talk about expectations, what we're talking about here from an SLA perspective is the type of service that will be provided, how that service will be provided or delivered, how it's measured, and what happens if expectations aren't met. So do we include an escalation procedure? What stakeholders are involved? What actions are we going to take when we fail to achieve the desired expectation of the service? Deliverables, in the case of SLAs, are the product or service output. That could be tangible, a presentation, a report, or an internal service or product like a software application or a training program. Some examples of metrics to include in an SLA are defect rates, response times, service availability, error rates between teams. And then when we think about accountability, that's the owner, that's the employee within the organization who answers to the outcomes and the decisions that are made. So an SLA, while sounds daunting, can be quite complex depending on your organization. If it's an external SLA and you're using vendors, there could be, pages of documentation and compliance requirements and regulations. However, internally, in an organization, an SLA can be a simple tool. It's often a one-page Word document or one slide in a PowerPoint. And the key things to include are a list of stakeholders, goals and objectives of the service or product, a description of the service, the escalation process, and then your service performance metric. When an SLA is not met internally, there are delays in output. There are oftentimes multiple communications between teams, emails, Slack messages, phone calls, inefficiency at its best, a lack of understanding of what the outcome is desired, who's accountable for it. There usually is an escalation path, which then includes leaders and stakeholders and very time consuming. If we met as a team early and described the desired outcomes and the time frames, the improvement in the workflow and process flows are easily achievable. And part of it too is just, this is often a new way of thinking for teams. If you work in a hospital or an organization, it's not something that you would be familiar with. Like I said, oftentimes SLAs live in the tech space or in IT teams. And so there's time commitment here and just learning what it is, setting the expectations, and then maintaining that standard. It takes time to follow the process. And what I have heard from teams where we've implemented this new tool or process, highly motivated in their output, relief that the process is working smoothly, and ability to meet their deadlines, and more collaboration across teams.
Yeah, I think the collaboration is a really key point, because honestly, when I look at SLAs the way you've described them, the SLAs almost facilitate more of a focus on the work that needs to get done, the process, and less on the people. And like you said earlier on, SLAs provide that voice from each of the groups that are required to contribute to the outcome.
Mm-hmm. And the trust that's built from an SLA, It may sound cliche and corny. When you have a broken window or locked door in your organization and you have to call your maintenance team, you know they're going to show up within a certain amount of time that's been defined in your SLA. You don't have to wait. You're not sitting outside in the cold. Your workflow is not going to be hindered, whether you're, waiting on customers to arrive or move into the next workflow. Same thing from a hospital perspective. When you think of supply chain team members who have to deliver the surgical instruments and products and prepare the suite and unit for surgeries the next day, you as a clinician and a provider know that all of those tools, all of those supplies, everything is going to be ready for you when you walk in the door and prepare for a surgery at 6 a.m.
So in conclusion, do you think you can sum up some of the benefits of engaging internal customers?
When employees feel valued and heard, they're more likely to be motivated and engaged in their work. This increases their performance and the capability for growth at the department level and at the organizational level. Clear expectations across departments and communication, such as implementing a service level agreement, leads to better problem solving, collaboration, and teamwork. And then leaders who develop and foster that positive organizational culture improve employee engagement and retention. And when employees are supported, they provide better external customer service. So essentially, the quality of internal customer engagement shapes and leads the quality and delivery of external customer service.
I love it. Thank you so much, Heather, for spending some time with us today and giving us a little bit of an insight into the internal customer part of the dynamic of customer relationship management. Really appreciate it. Would love to have you back. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Sterling Visionary Voices, Insights for Role Model Leadership from the Sterling Council. Discover more and connect with us at sterlingvisionaryvoices.com.